Welcome back to Innately Great, the channel that empowers you on your journey to greatness. I'm DC, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that I've been passionate about for some years now, and it is the importance of ambition. Now, those that know me personally know that I competed in a public speaking competition way back now, feels like centuries ago, in year 10. So we're talking, a good 12 years now. So yes, I look very different. I even sound very different. So this is going to be an interesting experience. But without further ado, we're going to get into reacting to this, first listening to it, and then seeing how my thoughts and feelings have changed, if they have at all.
A-M-B-I-T-I-O-N. What does that spell?
I'm sorry, but just look at the state of my tie. Oh my gosh.
Now, what is ambition? Ambition is enthusiasm with a purpose. Ambition is the lust to better ourselves. And ladies and gentlemen, ambition is the key to success.
Although I did this speech 12 years ago, it's mad that there's parts of my speech that still are ingrained in me. I still remember it so clearly.
Now, there are many people throughout this entire world who have implemented the idea of ambition in their lives, have therefore become great successes. One of these I'm sure you all know. You've seen him on TV. You've heard about him in the news. And if you're a Spurs fan and you don't know who he is, I've got 2 words for you. You're fired.
Okay. I know how cringy that is, trust me. No one is cringing as hard as me right now. This is incredibly hard to do, so please just bear with me with this.
This man is, of course, Alan Sugar. Lord Sugar was born in humble, working-class area of Hackney in East London. Here he lived with 5 other family members in a council flat. So how'd you go from that to acquiring a business that's worth £770 million? You do this through having ambition.
And Alan Sugar's story was a story that really resonated with me from young, because I used to love watching The Apprentice. I grew up watching The Apprentice. Any sort of business related shows, I don't know if, I think it was called Beat the Boss. I think that was on CBBC. But yeah, The Apprentice, anything business related, I was into it. So when I then was doing research for this speech, I remember coming across his story. And then when I actually found out about his sort of background and obviously his upbringing, the fact that he left school with no GCSEs, he grew up in a council flat with so many other siblings, and then went on to amass the fortune that he did, that really showed me that it is possible. Now, this is not saying that anyone can do it, but this is not saying that everyone will do that. I'm not naive enough to believe that. However, knowing that it is possible to achieve something like that from such humble beginnings is really inspiring to me. And I always think it's really important to highlight these stories. And that's something that I'm going to continue to bring forth on this channel as well. I hope to document and highlight really inspiring stories, because if you're like me, when I see someone else achieve something that seems impossible or improbable, that reignites something within me. Whenever I watch an inspiring movie, for example, sports movies are my favorite genres, the underdog, like the Mighty Ducks or anything like that. But those kind of movies, I love watching them because they just bring about a feeling that anything is possible. And I do think that we can achieve great things from that place, from that feeling, if you get what I mean. But yeah, let's get back to the video.
Another amazingly successful person was Jack Petchey himself. He left school at the age of just 14 years old. But yet, he set out on his road to success. And ladies and gentlemen, he had no qualifications. Now, I'm sure we all want to be the Alan Sugars and Jack Petcheys of tomorrow. We all want to wear the rich man's Rolex, be wearing a snappy suit, be driving around in our Rolls Royce, or even better, be driven around in our Rolls Royce.
To this day, like, I'm 27 now, and the Rolls Royce Wraith is something that I still aspire to acquire one day. It's mad that even 12 years ago, I loved this car. I don't know what it is about this car, but it is...
But the fact of the matter is, none of this can be achieved without the A word. Now, you don't have to be the smartest, the fastest, or even the most important person to be successful. As a wise painter by the name of Salvador Dali once said, intelligence without ambition is like a bird without wings. Has no purpose.
I still believe that. I mean, I was a bit dramatic and theatrical there, but I do believe that. I mean, there's a well-known saying that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And that is the truth. I genuinely stand by that. I think that when you have ambition and you're consistent and you work hard towards that, as well as having, because it all starts off with having that ambition, that goal, that desire, that objective that you set out in front of yourself. And once you have the foresight to even have that ambition, that's the first step, because everything starts with that inception of the thought. This is why controlling how we think and our beliefs is so important. It's a little callback to my first video, Overcoming Limiting Beliefs. If you haven't checked that out. But having control over, as well, trying to rewire and having control over like your thoughts, and then the inception of and the ability to actually have that ambition and then take consistent steps towards that ambition is the blueprint for achieving anything.
Now, ambition can be implemented in your life regardless of your race, regardless of your gender, and regardless of your age. If you're younger, you set your sights for the near and unpredictable future. And if you've got a bit of grey hair and you're aging a bit, well, I'm afraid you've got to do it too.
Again, this is mad. I'm agreeing with myself. But yeah, I still believe this. If you're young, I think it's even more so important to have ambition, because you've got your whole life ahead of you. So if you're in secondary school right now, you're in sixth form / college, you're in university, the world is your oyster. And that doesn't just stop there. As I said, if you're in your 30s, if you're in your 40s, if you're in your 50s, there's still things you can achieve. There's still feats that you can achieve. Like, even if you are one of the most successful people, for example, let's take someone like Elon Musk. He is one of the world's richest people. He is one of the most innovative individuals, I would say, there are about. All you have to do is look at what he's done with Tesla and how Tesla's grown over the years. So many people would have been happy with what he's achieved so far. They would sit back, okay, I'm one of the leading I'm one of the leading EV manufacturers in the world. And they would take a step back there. He's acquired X, now that he's called it X, Twitter. But this guy's aiming to get people on the moon. He wants people to land on the moon. He wants that to be a normal thing, like an everyday, like going to Lidl, going to the shops, I can just fly to the moon. That's what he's trying to achieve. That's his ambition. That's his goal. Now, he may not ever achieve it, but the steps that he's taken towards that, someone else can pick up that mantle and carry it on. They can carry on that baton, and eventually that will be an eventuality. And that's where that ambition, that's what the importance of ambition, that drive, because unless you have the mind to conceive an idea, a goal, an objective, those things will never be achieved. We can't just stumble. You don't just stumble on flying to the moon. Do you get what I mean? So you're starting to see the importance. Hopefully you're starting to see the importance of ambition.
Remember, every single one of you can better yourself. And by doing this, not only are we bettering ourselves, but we are bettering our communities. We are bettering our nation. And like Petchy and Sugar, we are bettering our world.
Damn, I really wish that video lasted a little bit longer, because you can really see the way they reacted to that speech. I got a standing ovation, if I do say so myself. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, to sort of listen to that back all these years later and still agree with a lot of what I thought back then. I mean, many people will probably just say, that's obvious. Of course you should be ambitious. But you'll be surprised. A lot of people, ambition isn't something that comes naturally to them. They don't look that far ahead because maybe they're not driven by that. And this is, I really want to emphasize that when I speak about ambition and having goals and objectives, this isn't finance specific. When we talk about self-development and self-improvement, I'm not just talking about monetary. I'm talking about spiritually. I'm talking about in terms of your mindset, your mentality. These are all key aspects where I think it's important to have goals and objectives. Like for myself, I'm someone who's always been very, I say, finance orientated and sort of like the world and sort of worldly possessions from young. But in growing, especially as I'm coming along a lot more as a Christian, my spirituality, oh my God, I can't even speak today. My spirituality as well as my psyche have also been tied in with my objectives and my goals, because they're just as, if not important, because if not more important, I should say, because what good is having all the money in the world if you haven't even got your faculties? You haven't got your mental faculties, or things aren't promised in the afterlife. Now, I know some of you may not be Christians. You may have you may belong to a different religious denomination. However, that still doesn't stop you from aspiring to have an element of, even if you're not, like you're an atheist, it doesn't stop you from having the desire for peace. That desire, because ultimately, I genuinely believe that's what happiness is. It's that peace, it's that tranquility, and you can aspire to have that, and you can work towards that, and you can achieve that. Thank you for joining me today. I've been DC, and this has been Innately Great. I hope that I was able to provide some sort of value to you today, either myself as 27-year-old me or 15-year-old me. And if you agree or disagree with anything that I've said, please do let me know in the comments below, because I don't want this to be an echo chamber. I really do want to have conversations with yourselves in the comments. So drop that down below, and yeah, let's have a conversation. Until next time, be great.